Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Today, we unpack a scandal that is as explosive as it is politically damaging. A senior ANC leader is accused of using his power to settle a personal score, and the fallout could shake the corridors of power in local government. At the heart of the storm is a deeply troubling story involving political power, personal relationships, and lucrative government tenders. A prominent ANC figure, whose name remains under wraps for now due to the sensitivity of the case, is alleged to have orchestrated the dismissal of his former romantic partner from a high-ranking position in a local municipality. But this is no ordinary breakup story. It's a tale of influence, control, and whispered corruption that has civil society and political observers on edge. According to sources close to the situation, the woman in question had been serving in a senior administrative role within the municipality. Her dismissal came shortly after the collapse of her romantic relationship with the ANC leader, a timeline that many believe is far from coincidental. Insiders claim that once the relationship soured, she found herself isolated, professionally undermined, and ultimately forced out. But it's the why behind her removal that truly raises eyebrows. Reports suggest that she had begun to question certain procurement procedures within the municipality, procedures that allegedly benefited companies with direct ties to the ANC leader's associates. These weren't just routine questions about paperwork, they were said to be concerns about irregularities, favoritism, and a pattern of manipulation in the tender process. Now, let's pause and understand what this means. In South Africa's political and municipal landscape, tenders, especially those for infrastructure, services, and development, are a hotbed for corruption. Access to these contracts can be incredibly lucrative. And if someone within the system starts asking the wrong questions, or threatens the flow of that money, they become a liability. In this case, it seems that liability was eliminated under the guise of an internal reshuffle. Municipal staff who witnessed the events reportedly described the woman's dismissal as abrupt and chilling. It's said to have created a climate of fear, where other officials are now scared to speak up or raise concerns about governance. If the allegations are true, this would not just be an abuse of power, it would be a direct threat to the principles of transparency and accountability in public service. The ANC figure at the center of this controversy has, of course, denied any wrongdoing. But the denials have done little to quell the growing public and political pressure. Civil society organizations, anti-corruption watchdogs, and even some opposition parties are now demanding a full, independent investigation. They argue that the lines between personal relationships and public office have once again been dangerously blurred, and that this cannot be swept under the rug. And it's not just about one woman losing her job. This incident speaks to a broader pattern within the ANC and local governance structures across the country, where loyalty to individuals often matters more than competence, where internal factions use their influence to protect tender pipelines, and where whistleblowers or dissenters are punished instead of protected. Remember the Zondo Commission? It exposed years of state capture and corruption, but also highlighted how personal networks and political relationships are often leveraged to bend institutions to individual will. This new scandal seems to follow a similar script, where personal vengeance allegedly triggers institutional manipulation. But this time, the consequences may stretch far beyond just the people involved. The ANC is already facing serious internal division and waning public support in key municipalities. With upcoming party conferences and the 2026 local government elections on the horizon, the party cannot afford another headline-grabbing scandal, especially one that plays into the public's growing mistrust of political elites. It also raises critical questions: how often are personal vendettas dressed up as professional decisions? How many qualified, competent individuals are being pushed out of public service because they refuse to play along with corrupt agendas? And how long can the ANC maintain credibility if these patterns of abuse continue unchecked? At the heart of this issue is the question of integrity in governance. Municipalities are supposed to serve the people. They're the front line of service delivery, especially in communities that are already struggling with housing backlogs, water issues, broken roads, and poor healthcare infrastructure. When political games interfere with municipal operations, it's ordinary South Africans who suffer. What we are witnessing is a slow erosion of trust in our institutions, in our leaders, and in the system meant to serve the public good. And that's why this story matters. Because it's not just about one relationship gone bad, it's about power, abuse, and the real consequences of unchecked authority. Civil society must remain vigilant. Whistleblowers need protection, not punishment. And the public must demand answers, not just from this ANC leader, but from the entire system that allows such abuse to fester. We'll be keeping a close eye on how this story develops, especially as calls for an investigation grow louder. Will the ANC act swiftly to investigate and restore public confidence, or will it retreat behind its usual wall of silence and internal protection? Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you believe this woman's dismissal was politically motivated? Should the ANC launch an internal probe? And how can we strengthen our municipalities against political interference? Don't forget to like this video if you found the information insightful, share it with others who care about clean governance, and subscribe for more deep dives into South Africa's political realities. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.